Hi, Sagittarius. How's it going? That's right, every now and then I show my face. So, this is a daily reading. Welcome. I am Sage Muse, or you can call me Heidi. And this is where we look at messages that want to come out today. It doesn't necessarily mean it's happening today, but you need to know it. You need to know. Let things unfold is what I always say. So let's get into it. If you're looking for personals, please check out the link in my description. Um, I may be doing a special for August, but I only do them for the summertime because it's a slower time of year and, I need to eat. So, the vibe. Why do we always get Leo energy? Like, it is Leo season for sure, so we are surrounded by a lot of Leoness. But, like, to be honest with you, I don't think we're anything like Leo. And it surprises me constantly that we show up in Leo energy so much. Ugh. And whale spirit trusted the great mystery. And I think that it's just really sad you may be in this mode of, putting yourself forward to people. And that can, like, be about being generous. There's more about giving without, like, you don't know if it would be received well. You don't know, you're doing it anyway. I can't right now remember the word of what it means when you extend yourself to someone. That's what I was thinking. You're going to be extending yourself to people. Um, that is the thing about Sagittarius, is like we give help even if no one asks for it, right? And so I feel like that's what's happening, which is interesting because maybe you haven't been giving lately. We have been in this energy of being more about putting ourselves first. And believe it or not, Sagittarians typically, everyone thinks of us as the party people, and we are. We like to have fun. We have extroverted tendencies, but we very much are introverted people. So it's complicated. But I feel like you may be extending yourself to others. Um, I like it. I actually do. What's right underneath that? You feel guided to do so, right? But maybe, like, you're doing it a little differently this time, and you're doing it with boundaries. Okay, let spirit be your guide, and armadillo spirit set healthy boundaries. You're doing it with boundaries. And that also is a challenge for Sagittarius because we don't like boundaries. We see boundaries as rules, and we don't like rules. And so we really don't. We don't like rules. We don't like schedules. We'd like everything to be free flowing, and organic. But in life we need some guidelines sometimes. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. So what's going on around you is interesting. Um, Angel of Balance and action is here. Now, this could be action from another person. It could be someone else does something, but you see the dark and the light horses. It's kind of, and we have the Temperance card as well. So there is balance coming in because of some action that someone is taking. We'll see who's doing the taking and what the action's all about, right? But I would say that it's highly possible that this is something you've been waiting to work out, you know? It is. Mm, mm, mm. Could be another person, though, because man with a heart was there. So let's see. Relationally is, I don't really like to do it where there's more than one possibility. Um, but because we deal with the audience, which is, big, that's why it could be. Okay, so besties came up, friends to lovers. Um, the shy one, make the first move. And conflict and fighting is reversed. Okay, so I was really feeling that this is a friend, but that there may be more feelings involved in that. So, and it's highly possible to have a friend like that, right? Where you feel more for them than just friendship. Maybe it's not something that the two of you explore, but there's more. This is like more than a friend, I feel. Are you lovers? I don't think so. And it could just be a friendship, and that's what I was saying about it being more than one thing. And it's someone you could have had a conflict with, and that I would say you want reconciliation here, right? But someone has to say something first. And I feel like it's going to have to be you, because this person is very quiet. They're not going to do it. They're not going to do it. But what's interesting is that part of this conflict, I don't know, had to do with not settling. Maybe you felt like this person did not value you, but the truth is that you don't know everything. Okay, there might be stuff you don't know. We'll take a look at that, right? Because we always do. So let's see. Let's see what we can about besties. Besties. So just even for no other reason than to help you identify this person better. If it were me, I would know who it is. So I think you may as well. Just like, tell me about besties. Besties, besties. Oh, besties. Oh, learner is here. Wow. All right. This person's been, because they come up as the student. So they've been learning quite a bit about discipline, maybe learning to control their temper, because we see self-restraint here, abstinence. So they haven't been, with nobody. But they are making progress. Wow. And you may not believe it, but this person is loyal. Okay, okay. Well, isn't that interesting? I wanted to say cup of fish, but Heidi, what are you talking about? I don't know, y'all. So let's see. I'm not doing mystery cards because I am going to do the curveball as well. It's part of the schedule. And as part of the new schedule, I do not work on Wednesday. So no content on Wednesday. No content. But we're always free to have conversations in the comments. I love that. And thanks everyone for sticking with me this summer. I know the summertime is like everyone's got other things to do. But so tell me, how is Sagittarius being generous? How are they extending themselves? How is Sag extending themselves? Ooh. This is very interesting. In a very clear way. Okay, so Neptune is here, right? And release. So it definitely feels like you're extending yourself in a way that doesn't include you having rose-colored glasses on. So you really like see people clearly. And maybe because we believe the best in people, it is one of our traits. And it's great, but it winds up hurting us. I feel like that is something that you're not doing anymore. Wow, that's pretty deep. And that really helps other people too, because it really doesn't help them either. You know, I had even a friendship like that where I just refused to see like someone where they were currently at in life. I only saw where they could be, you know, and we all know what that is, right? Who they were. And they were actually, we are all of those things. We really are. But if we can't see people as they are in this moment, you know, like if someone is treating you badly and you say to yourself, but they didn't always treat me badly and this is not who they really are, then you're kind of hurting yourself, you know. So I think this is a really good place to give from. I actually love this. Oh my goodness. And that explains the change. I mean, it sure does. All right. All right. So what is coming into balance? Detachment. Okay. What is this action? You could be taking a different direction. And that somehow that involves like removing yourself from something, detaching from something, that you understand that fate is pulling you somewhere else, right? You really do understand it because your higher self is activated. You understand it and you're not fighting it. Lovely. So tell us about this bestie. Tell us about this bestie in this conflict. What the heck? Ooh. Celebrations, gifts, abundance. Lovely. I don't know what my obsession with that word is today. It's so old-fashioned. Okay. Letting down of pride, I would say. Okay. Toxicity and the North Node. Interesting. So it does seem like there's something good coming in between you and this person. Um, Once you let go of your pride and vice, remember all of these energies are vice versa too, but this was really the breaking of a toxic cycle. Maybe you had a toxic cycle with this person, which, yeah, I mean, conflict and fighting, right? um and I do think that the cycle for you was really tied to knowing your worth, and if people don't treat you as such, then you're out of the building. But I feel like there's something you don't know here. So what is it Sagittarius doesn't know? Alchemy. That this person's been working on themselves. And regret. Like they wanted to apologize to you and they never did. Then they regret that. Right? Repression is holding it inside. They have a lot of regret about this. And with alchemy being here, like they're working on it. So it could be some sort of amends thing with this person. And you probably don't realize that they feel bad about what happened. And it definitely was like you had to go towards your destiny and towards your North Node, right? Which means, maybe in the past, your South Node would have led you towards, doing too much for other people, being people pleasing, because we did spend a lot of time in the Libra South Node. And with the North Node, we really push forth ourselves and, our goals, and really about our personal goals for ourselves, right? And that's who you were supposed to be. And ideally, we find the balance between the two, because the South Node offers a lot. And we see it here, even in this reading. Like, because you're getting back to being generous with other people, but you're not seeing things in a false way, right? Which serves everyone. Which serves everyone. And part of like a people pleasing aspect is when we're moving away from that, we kind of don't realize that doesn't mean we stop giving altogether. It doesn't. So I feel like you're getting back to that now. Interesting. Well, okay. So on the bottom is the Three of Wands, the World. Jeez, okay. Definitely making plans for the future, or you will be. And really, it feels like making headway on some things that have kept you, because the Eight of Swords, we know what that is, right? Making moves to make this future happen. Maybe you thought you couldn't, and there were definitely things that may have been holding you back, whether is that like obligations or whatever. I don't feel like you can't do it anymore. You're doing it. It might be moving slowly and there are problems, but you should know that you're getting over the hump of the problems, because the Eight of Wands is there, and then things will start to flow much quicker. But that's at the bottom of the deck, which means that isn't a right now thing. That's what you're working towards, right? Oh, amen, amen. Okay, so what is supporting Sagittarius? Okay. The Star, yes. Dreams coming true. Okay. the Star and the Queen of Cups. You're just really feeling good. I mean, it also feels like something you have wanted is coming to pass. It's like you can see it now. The Nine of Wands, the Five of Wands, the Five of Swords. I feel like there's other people that don't want this for you. So the key may be just staying away from these people, because this is something you want. Maybe it's something they don't agree with, but this is something you want. So, and it's what's supporting you, which is interesting. But you are really close to getting it, and so you can't really pay attention to the naysayers, because that can actually put a crux in the a fork in the spokes. I'm an old person. And I feel like this makes you sad. I do. It won't always be like that. You won't always be at odds with these people. Okay, so what is the challenge? The challenge. Ace of Swords and the Moon. Facing a truth you didn't want to see. And what is that? Wheel of Fortune. What is it that Sag didn't want to see? Ready? That you are growing, okay? You are growing and creating positive changes in your life, but that doesn't mean everyone is. Queen of Swords and the Eight of Wands. I also feel like you may be having to say some things with so many swords here. You're very clear on this fact, right? But you're going to need to say some things to some people about this. It's kind of like, you can grow with me, or you can hit the road, Jack. And I feel like there may be some sadness involved, some that isn't what I wanted. But it is what it is. So what is Sagittarius's advice? What's the advice? King of Swords. A lot of swords. A lot of swords. Be logical. Yeah. Be logical and honest with yourself about the devil. The devil's reverse, though, which is good. This has to do with what's holding you back. And it might involve some people, huh? Woo! Knight of Swords is on the bottom with the Four of Cups. It's not going to be an easy conversation. And I kind of feel like the conversation is really hard. And you telling, and it's a little painful, honestly. So we have the Knight of Swords, the Four of Cups, the Tower, the Three of Swords, and the Knight of Pentacles, 8 of Swords. Like, it's kind of you realizing that you could have made things go by faster if you had cut some things off. But part of it is you didn't want to live with this disappointment. Like, and even though you know how they're going to react, they come up in so much Tower energy. It still hurts. I feel like you're still hoping that it would turn out differently, but it doesn't. And you have to do what's best for you. But let's see what the good stuff is. Oh my gosh, look at this mess. So what is the good stuff? Meaning, you know, tell us something good. What's the good stuff? It's all good. I mean, because you're pushing forward to where you're supposed to be. What's the... Okay. Page of Cups could mean new people. What's the good stuff? We were seeing an awful lot of the Page of Cups yesterday. Okay. Oh, okay. And I don't know if, like, this is this person where they're saying you need to take the action. They may actually, I don't know where this fits in, but the good stuff is Page of Cups, 4 of Swords, and the Knight of Cups. Yeah, like hearing from someone you haven't heard from in a long time and getting together. And I like it. We're going to keep that for the extended. We're going to keep that for sure. So, let me just get some words from your spirit guides, right? Round this off with some words from your spirit guides. What is the final word? The final word. What is it? Oh, wow. Look at this. Was long. Huh? I keep trying to make these readings shorter. What's the final word? Keep your mind open and be willing to learn from this experience. Keep an open mind. Okay, Sag, that's what I have for you, Toodles.